I'm Eric Mullins, and I spent roughly the past 9 years working super hard on writing, illustrating, and self-publishing my own manga called Blithe. I'm gonna put my work on the progress on the side here. While I've been working on my manga, I watch a ton of anime. It's wild. I usually watch dubbed, but if ever I'm given a moment of free time in life, then I'll delve into the subtitles. Keep in mind, folks, that these reviews that I make are my own subjective opinion. Just because we don't see eye to eye on everything doesn't mean we can't have an awesome conversation about it. So be sure to write your own opinions down in the comments section. With that aside, it's time to get into this summer of 2000s film. When I'm done talking about it, you'll be able to decide if it's a hard pass for you, or you may be super hyped to watch it. Vampire Hunter D is based off a series of light novels to which there are quite a few. I myself have read like 30 of them. Everything is just so creative and different, taking a sideways approach to the vampire genre that still comes off as unique despite its initial publishing being released roughly in 1983. Bloodlust is actually the second film to be adapted from the novels, with the first one being a 1985 animated movie. You really don't need to see this original movie. You can if you'd like to, but they're not connected other than the main character being D. So let's talk premise, because this movie sets the stage vaguely, but I'm here to clear all that up for you. A quick disclaimer, this isn't Disney's Vampires Are Magic. It's dark, gothic, violent. There's over-sexualization for both guys and gals. Vampires are here, so expect blood and some gore along with dialogue to match. The year, 12,090. That's so far into the future and very unexpected for something when talking about vampires. It's not 40k far, but it's 12k. What happened from now until then? Well, vampires ruled while humans drooled. A sort of nuclear holocaust happens in the year 1999 or so, and vampires are the ones to pick up all the pieces of the planet. Using their magics and technologies over time, they transform the Earth into their own personal utopia. They recreate tons of cool mutants and biological monsters based off of mythical creatures. However, there are some of these OG fantastical beasts still prowling around. We just don't see them often. Do they still need blood? Drinking, yes. Getting it from humans, no. But they ever so do enjoy the hunt. Nothing beats fresh, straight from the carton. Over the thousands of years, they've also genetically altered and messed with humans to make them easier prey. Like forgetting what a vampire's weaknesses are, among other things. Even if you tell them what it is, they might immediately forget a minute later. As time went on, their species hit their apex and then slowly fell into a decline. I know at one point they had like space battles and stuff like that. Wow, okay, so let's have an anime that takes place in the year 8K and see these vampires in space fighting to save the Earth from an oppressive alien species, while they themselves are oppressing the humans. That would make a cool anime. Fast forward to 11K, and now things are in ruin. The vampires won, but their civilization is in collapse, and this is what some humans and unique monsters needed in order to take the power back. This would make another super cool anime. Now it's 12K, and the world feels like the cowboy frontier, only with robot horses, mutant creatures that go bump in the night, and bounty hunters hired to protect fringe towns and take out threats. Okay, so all of this is just the setup in which the world Vampire Hunter D takes place in. Bloodlust itself is a re-envisioned telling of the third short novel, originally entitled Demon Death Chase. But aside from the main premise and certain characters sharing roles, it's extremely different, and not in a bad way, just different. Like how kittens are super cute, but baby bunnies are also super cute? Different. Basically, a town pools all their hard-earned cash together in order to hire hunters to save a beautiful, beloved by all girl named Charlotte. See, a vampire by the name of Meyer Link has taken a fancy to dear Charlotte and has whisked her away. Vampires are hardcore. The strongest are strong, and since the year is 12K, they are buff. Like, age makes them stronger. This is a classic vampire concept and is rarely disputed. Actually, let's talk real quick about what these vamps can do. Most things are similar to your classic iterations, including weaknesses. This is your garlic, holy crosses or water, puncturing of the heart, shape-shifting, flight, can't be seen in mirrors. However, they can actually have kids with one another or with humans. So in walks our Hunter D, a Dempeel, the name given to vampiric and human half-breeds. Like their nocturnal halves, they grow into adulthood and then live eternally. Of course they can go out and play in the sun, but it does have its risks. The town hates him. Everyone hates him. Humans are racist against anything that isn't human. But you know, if your species was treated like cattle for the past 10,000 years and everything outside your town wanted to eat you, you'd probably be a little jaded yourself. D takes on the job and away he goes. If Charlotte has been tempted, this means turned, he'll put her down and bring proof of their loss. D is the strong silent type. He has a homunculus for his left hand that acts almost as his Batman utility belt and sure loves to talk. D is old. Very old. But I'm not gonna get too into it because the intrigue that this film throws at you, it's through the roof. D isn't the only hunter hired for the job. We also got the Marcus brothers. There are 4 of them. Each one fills in a specific role within their bounty hunting unit. Based off their equipment and banter in the film, it's obvious they're veteran hunters that have been doing this for quite a while and they'll do whatever it takes to get the job done. It isn't always tactful, but if you're a human going up against a somewhat demigod, there's no such thing as the word cheating when survival is at stake. Steak. Finally, we have Leila. She's working with the brothers, but isn't part of their team. Why, we could have a whole anime on this crew and their past exploits. It'd be epic. Leila is rough around the edges. You know, she's had a horrible life because most people in this universe have, especially the hunters and extra especially the vampire hunters. It's a solid death wish. Things swap between her and Dee's perspective, which is an incredibly unique way of telling a story like this. At one point, the vampire lord hires a group of mercenaries known as the Barbarois to protect him while he tries to reach his destination with Charlotte, the Barbarois, and their windmills. They are so cool. It's all sorts of hardcore monsters, creatures, and fabled beings that can only be hired by others that go bump in the night. And the artwork and dialogue do well at instilling a rich history in only a short matter of minutes. Another possible anime? Why not? Meyerlink gets 3 bodyguards. First one being Bengay, a shadow creature that works with curses. The second one being Caroline, who is able to bond and manipulate the items in which she bonds with. And last is Machira, a werewolf that has a huge mouth on his stomach. All 3 are creepy and all 3 are very intriguing. But unfortunately, Machira just doesn't get the amount of screen time I would have liked. I mean, even the combat scenes that you see for the other 2 are very impressive, and for him, they kinda cut it short, which is frustrating because there's a couple points in the movie that do drag on a little and they could have literally moved things around a bit to give him a good 1 minute at least. And the final character I will talk about today is Carmilla. A vampire queen of sorts, her design is beautiful, elegant, and imposing. Meyerlink is rushing towards her castle throughout the movie because no one in their sane mind would enter such a place uninvited. The year is 12K. Imagine the tech and the alarm companies that Carmilla is able to acquire at this point. The ghouls. The horrors. This would make a cool anime. So many possible anime and concepts just to come from one simple film. With over-the-top animation, excellent dubbing, and intriguing writing, it's hard not to visualize so many spin-offs. All the characters are written with multiple dimensions to them. Just fantastic. It would be amazing if most creators thought things through to this extent. I had mentioned animation. Amazing. I remember watching it back in 2002 and all I could think of at this point in time is it almost felt like a last will and testament to the days of traditional animation. I say this, but this is in no means a bad thing. As technology gets better, things are easier to produce. This includes nice looking backgrounds in the simplest of shows. That's a solid win. Regardless, the animation is incredibly fluid, the background's painstakingly detailed, and the art style has a close approximation to Yoshitaka Amano's original Vampire Hunter D illustrations. Dark, gothic details are put in every facet of this film's design that really bring this world to life. Heck, even the one-wheel future motorcycle has this epic little cross where the headlight comes out. A beautiful mix of the future and the past, it's just wild. Thinking about this now, it really does coincide with my love for a lot of the lore and designs in the Warhammer 40k universe. The music is perfect for this film. Honestly, I don't know how to sugarcoat it. I feel incredibly biased, but with the style that the movie portrays, it fits like a glove. Grandiose old school gothic once more. The theme they hit is just a bullseye through and through. Everything really makes me think of the game Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, in particular. But D's universe and Alucard's hold many similarities, which makes sense because Castlevania got a lot of its inspiration from the Vampire Hunter D series. I had mentioned my FLCL review that good dubbing is few and far between in the early 2000s. Well, this is one of those far between. It was exceptionally well dubbed. The dialogue had a few moments here or there I found a little weak, but 95% was so incredibly solid. Written in an adult manner, without the need to add in Game of Thrones styled swearing every 2 seconds, I can't help but wonder how terrible this movie would have been if it was released in 2023. Every second word would be F this or F that, and then they'd get creative with their fire effers. Because if there ain't swearing every 2 seconds, then a cartoon's for children. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that it doesn't feel as though it's written by a 10-year-old child that just discovered they could get away with saying bad words. My final thoughts. Everything in Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust was done with such a high level of quality. From art, music, dubbing, writing, it's also meticulously thought out and done with such care and love. The characters in the world they live in all have such rich personalities and backgrounds, it's easy to see why so many people love this. Personally, I found it hard to watch. I love Castlevania, the games. And when they released the series to Castlevania, I couldn't even finish the second season. Every 2 seconds, I just kept comparing it to this, and that's not fair.
It's not fair, it's not fair. I'll show you what's not fair. Stay there till you rot, Hunter.
This movie was so close to perfection for this type of genre that if you're a fan of gothic, dark, monstrous, vampiric, and even romantic storytelling and visuals with a soundtrack to match and dubbing to drive that stake home, I can't help but recommend it to you 200%. If you love any of the things I just mentioned, this movie will be a shining beacon of light in your life. You may go out and buy all the short novels, delving deep into the reimagining of vampire lore that homages the classics with respect and adds its own cherry on top. But let this be a warning to you, it may harshen your views on other similar shows or films, making your demand for more quality equivalent to an animated film released in 2001. If you like my videos just a little bit, be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and maybe that notification bell. Every time I come out with a new episode, you'll be notified with said bell. Thanks so much for watching, and have an awesome rest of your day.